Will any summer 2025 movies join the billion dollar club? Let's find out. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris and welcome back to another video. So today I'm doing a tier list ranking of the biggest summer movie season releases based on if I think they will make $1 billion or not. This is sort of a companion to a video I released last week ranking summer 2025 movies based on my excitement. Now let's talk about if they can join the billion dollar club or not. I did this last year where I, ranked summer movies and said, hey, will they make $1 billion or not? And I also made a video coming into 2025 talking about the entire movie slate and whether or not any movies will crack into the billion dollar club. But now that it's been almost 4.5 months, we have a few more data points we can actually look at regarding what movies have done this year, such as Captain America Brave New World, Snow White, a Minecraft movie, so I can kind of gauge this summer movie season a bit better. And I think I have an understanding of how these movies are going to perform, but at the same time, I could probably be wrong about most of these. That's the fun about making these prediction videos. Before I get into this though, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below if you think any of these movies will join the billion dollar club over the summer, and of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell to help me reach my goal of 150,000 subscribers here on the channel. I mean, quite a bit. Without further ado, I say we just get down to business. Let's dive in. So the tiers I have are high chance that it will make $1 billion, definitely possible, maybe, unlikely, and no shot. And again, I've only got like the major summer movie season releases here because there are tons of other summer movies that are going to come out that just have no conceivable shot of making $1 billion. So I just want to talk about the big dog releases of the summer and I actually have them in release order. So we start with Thunderbolts, which is the first summer movie in May, and we end with August releases. So let's go ahead and get down to business. First up is Thunderbolts. The marketing push for Thunderbolts as of late has been wild. Marvel's really going in on like how there's practical stunts and it's going to be an actual film. I am excited for this movie. I have been for a while. I don't think it's going to do $1 billion, to be honest with you. Captain America Brave New World ended up doing around like 415 million worldwide, I want to say. I think this does more than that. You've got the May release date. There's more excitement here. The marketing push is legit. I see this movie doing like 600 to 700 million, probably about 650 million. I think that'd be a win for it. But I'm going to say it's definitely possible. You never know. People could have the Marvel bug. There's not a lot of competition for the entire month of May with this genre. Like Thunderbolts could have pretty much, I think, 3 to 3.5 weeks of dominance. So it's definitely possible. It's probably not going to happen, but it's definitely possible. It's a Marvel Studios movie releasing early May. We've seen movies lighted up in that release date before, so it's definitely on the table, but I don't think there's a high chance it's going to do $1 billion. Next, we've got Final Destination Bloodlines, aka Final Destination 6. As much as I enjoy this franchise, I am aware this movie has no shot of making $1 billion, so I'm going to put it right there. I don't know what Final Destination has done at the box office in the past, but I imagine it's kind of comparable to what the Saw movies have done, maybe a little better because there's more of a wide appeal. Saw is almost too gross out. Final Destination definitely has some nasty moments, but Saw has become sort of infamous for the traps, right? Well, Final Destination might have a more wide appeal. I still think this one has no shot of making $1 billion. It'd be an insane achievement for it, but let's be real, it has no shot. Moving on, though, we've got Lilo and Stitch, a Disney live-action remake of one of the most popular Disney films of this century. I think it came out in 2003, I want to say. Very popular movie, especially from my childhood. People love Stitch. He's become a Disney icon. And for that reason, I have a feeling that this film might just crack into the $1 billion club. Snow White greatly underperformed, but there was controversy around that movie outside of the movie itself. Lilo and Stitch, on the other hand, they nailed the design. They've had a nice marketing push. And if you look at the Disney live action remakes that have done numbers at the box office, for the most part, they are remakes of films that are beloved. The Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Alice in Wonderland. Lilo and Stitch, one of the most beloved of the newer era Disney films, so there's a high chance I think this one could do $1 billion. It also releases near the end of May. Kids are getting out of school. This has that appeal to not only like families across the world, but kids who grew up watching this might have kids now and they want to share it with their family. So I'm going to say this has a high chance to do $1 billion. I'm going to put it up there. I don't know, high chance doesn't mean it's guaranteed to do $1 billion, but it could get up into the 850, 900 million worldwide range, and anything's possible. So we'll see. We shall see. Moving on, we've got Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, my most anticipated movie of the year. Cannot wait for this. The most recent trailer, I'll put my reaction up above, badass trailer. But when it comes to box office, we have to take into account the last film, Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning ended up underperforming greatly. It still did like 590 worldwide, I want to say, but the budget was huge. It also released in a packed July where it was competing with Barbenheimer, so it was doomed from the jump, kinda. So you have to go back to Fallout in 2018 and see what that movie did. It did about 790 million, I want to say. It's actually the most successful Mission Impossible film at the box office. So I think this one's going to get back on track. There's less direct competition at the box office. Lilo and Stitch comes out the same day, but those are different markets in my opinion. I think this movie ends up doing 600 million to 700, so there's no high chance, but Tom Cruise is the man. People love Top Gun Maverick. They showed up for that. So I'm going to say it's possible this movie could do $1 billion. You never know. If it is like highly rated across the board from early reviews, there's rave reactions and people are like, you've got to see this movie. Word of mouth could allow it to have long legs, because if you look at June, there isn't tons of competition in my opinion with Mission Impossible. So we'll see. I'm going to go definitely possible behind Thunderbolts because I think I have more faith in Marvel Studios at the moment. But again, you never know. You never know. These two movies could end up making lots of money and just not sniffing $1 billion, but still making lots of money and being profitable. It's very difficult to make $1 billion. I know it's the trendy thing to talk about. I love talking about, will this be in the $1 billion club? Will it not be? But it's very damn difficult to crack into that club. Moving on, we've got Karate Kid Legends. It's no secret at this point that I'm against this movie existing, but let's go ahead and break it down unbiased. We haven't had a Karate Kid movie since, I believe it was 2010 with, Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan. That movie did fine. Let's look it up right now in real time. How much money did it do? I think it did around 300 million. Yeah, so the Karate Kid from 2010 did 359 million worldwide, and I feel like that's about right for this movie as well. This is not going to be some smash hit. Yeah, you've got Cobra Kai and that fan base that could show up for this movie, but I just don't know. I mean, like, this movie's ceiling to me is 400 million, so I'm going to say, maybe, just maybe, there can be a social media push and like the Cobra Kai fandom shows up and shows out. So I guess I'll go maybe, but even then I feel like it's unlikely for this one to do $1 billion. So yeah, I think its ceiling being 400, it's unlikely, but you never know. So I'll go unlikely with that. Next, we've got the Ballerina John Wick spinoff with Ana de Armas. No John Wick movie has ever even come close to making $1 billion, so a spinoff without Keanu in the lead role, it's unlikely. I can't say no shot, because it is a summer action movie. It's got that over like the horror niche that is Final Destination. I'm going to say behind Karate Kid, though. I think that it's unlikely this one does $1 billion. Moving on, we've got the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake, which actually premiered at CinemaCon back in April, which it's still April. I don't know why I'm like, oh, back in April. It was like 2 weeks ago. But no, this movie has rave reactions. Now, I think we have to take it all with a grain of salt. I'm still skeptical this is going to be a shot-for-shot remake. I have to see the movie and be proven wrong, but I can't deny that How to Train Your Dragon has become maybe the DreamWorks franchise. I love that trilogy. Watched it for the first time early last year, and I adore it. It's my favorite DreamWorks property. With it having like a mid-June release, How to Train Your Dragon being beloved, the ride and the Isle of Berk land coming to Epic Universe down in Orlando. There's a lot of buzz and excitement for How to Train Your Dragon. This movie, I think, is going to do numbers, and honestly, I gotta say it has a high chance of making $1 billion because DreamWorks animated films make bank. This movie has the benefit of, kids who saw this one in theaters. They're older now. They might have kids or at least, significant others they're going to want to see the movie with. But then you got to take into account there are kids who maybe have seen How to Train Your Dragon, maybe haven't. This will be their How to Train Your Dragon. So it's going to be big, a big hit at the box office. I'm not going maybe, I'm not going definitely possible. I'm going high chance. I actually think I've had a change of heart on this one lately. I have a weird gut feeling right now this movie's going to blow it up at the box office in a good way. I'm going over Lilo and Stitch. Call me a madman. I could be off there, but I think it's got a really high chance to end up cracking into that $1 billion club. So we shall see. Next, we have 28 Years Later. This is the third film in the series. I haven't seen those first two. I'm going to watch them beforehand. But much like Final Destination, I feel like with the horror thriller, it's just hard to even imagine one of these movies making $1 billion. So I'm going to say no shot for 28 Years Later. It's going to make more than Final Destination probably, but there's really no shot it's going to make it. Next, we have a Pixar movie, Elio, an original Pixar film. These are some of the hardest movies to read. Elemental started slow, ended up making like 400 or 500 million worldwide. So you never know. I'm going to go ahead and put Elio in maybe because it's a Pixar original and it's got to have long legs because I don't think it's going to have a massive opening weekend. A lot of these movies don't, but it's about word of mouth. Will families show up to see this? And there's direct competition. You're going to have Lilo and Stitch still in theaters. You're going to have How to Train Your Dragon in theaters. Will it beat those out? I don't see that happening. So I'm going maybe with it because it's hard to read those, but I don't know, How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo and Stitch, I got a weird gut feeling about lately. Ever since seeing, a Minecraft movie explode at the box office, there is sort of a push for the nostalgia-driven films, and the people seeing a Minecraft movie, they're going to want to see How to Train Your Dragon. They're going to want to see Lilo and Stitch. What about Elio? Not as sure. So Pixar at the box office, I mean, I know they just had Inside Out 2 absolutely shatter records, but that was a sequel. With this being an original movie, it's tough to read, so I'll go maybe. Next, we've got Megan 2.0. No shot. I mean, what did the first Megan do? Let's look that up real quick. So the first Megan made 180 million. I'd be shocked if Megan 2.0 made 200, so I'm gonna go no shot. I'll put it at the top because, that goofy movie could somehow end up finding its audience, but I doubt it. Next, we have F1, directed by Joseph Kosinski, who has directed a $1 Billion Club film in Top Gun Maverick. This could be the dad movie this summer. You got Brad Pitt, director of Top Gun Maverick. It looks awesome, but it's not going to make $1 billion. I'm going to say maybe for this one because, no one really expected Top Gun Maverick to come out and crush it like it did. It had the power of Tom Cruise, sure, but this could be one of those ultimate dad movies that has positive word of mouth that people want to go see and have a damn fun time with. So I'm going to go maybe. You never know. Brad Pitt is still a big, big star. He's a big name that multiple generations recognize. It could get the older crowd to come back out to the theaters, kind of like they did for Top Gun Maverick. So anything's possible, but it's probably not going to be the case. Then we've got Jurassic World Rebirth, which is, to me, the only lock to make $1 billion. I'm putting it at the top of high chance. I saw the trailer on the big screen the other day before I saw Warfare, and I'm like, yeah, this is $1 billion waiting to happen. The last 3 Jurassic movies made $1 billion. The OG Jurassic Park made $1 billion. On top of that, you've got an Avenger in this movie and Scarlett Johansson. Jonathan Bailey's a big name from Bridgerton, Wicked. Mahershala Ali is here. Jurassic makes money, and you can hate it all you want. I don't like the last 2 movies at all. This movie actually looks kind of awesome. Could be the best since the OG. It is guaranteed to do $1 billion. I'm not even concerned about it. Next, we got Superman, which the marketing has sort of started for. I mean, we still don't have an official trailer. We got like a 5-minute footage thing and a teaser. I'm gonna say top of definitely possible. I think this movie still does, the highest it does is 700 million. So I don't think that there's a high chance it does $1 billion. Just because it's going to get drowned out in that month by Jurassic and Fantastic Four. It's sandwiched between the two. That's unfortunate timing, but it's the world we live in. I'm going definitely possible. I think there's still a stigma around DC that's going to hold a lot of people back from going and spending money for a ticket on this one, but you never know. If the movie rocks, it rocks, and it could end up doing 800, 850, but I don't see this movie grossing over Guardians 3. Guardians 3 did around 850. Wakanda Forever did around 850. Those were successes, and even those movies didn't make $1 billion. So I'm telling you, Superman is not making $1 billion. It's not. Superman has never made a ton of money at the box office. Look at Man of Steel. It did like $550 million. Superman is iconic, but Superman in our lifetime, mine, I'm 25 years old, so people my age and younger haven't really had a ton of Superman buzz. There are other superheroes like Batman, Spider-Man, the Avengers that have sort of occupied movie and TV shows in stronger ways. And so to me, the Superman buzz is going to be there. People are going to show up, but it will not make $1 billion in my opinion. It's definitely possible if it is like really well reviewed and people are calling it, one of the best superhero movies ever. Then there will be that buzz there, but I don't think there's a high chance it does $1 billion because I think its ceiling is $700 million. Moving on, we've got Smurfs. I mean, I can't say no shot because you never know. I don't think a Smurfs movie is going to do $1 billion, but it's unlikely. I'll put it at the back of unlikely because you never know. It could reach the family crowd in a way that the Minions do, but I feel like the Smurfs buzz is entirely dead. Next, we have I Know What You Did Last Summer. A lot of horror movies make their money back because they have smaller budgets, but they were never designed to be vessels that make $400, $500 million. I mean, the Conjuring franchise, I feel like some of those horror movies have made the most money, and even then, that's like $350 million, I want to say. So I'll go no shot. I'll put it like right here, probably at the back of no shot, just because it's a remake of a slasher. It's going to make its money back. People show up for these slashers, but these are not movies that are designed to be smash hits at the box office. Unlike a big superhero movie in Fantastic Four, the Fantastic Four First Steps. I think it's definitely possible this movie does $1 billion. And the more I think on it, the more I'm like, it probably won't crack into that $1 billion club, but you never know because it's late July. There's, excitement in the air for this movie. It's the MCU's Fantastic Four. I'm going to say definitely possible, top of definitely possible. I'm not going high chance anymore. I don't know if I ever had it there, but I think this movie can do 850, just like Guardians, just like Wakanda Forever. It could do $900 million, but I don't know if it cracks into $1 billion. It just depends. There's a really competitive summer. I think the movie has to be great and positive word of mouth has to be there for Fantastic Four to make $1 billion. Next, we've got The Naked Gun. I mean, The Naked Gun's been around, so maybe there's some nostalgia there, but I'll go back of unlikely. It's not going to happen, but because it is, you know, attached to an older series of movies, there could be some nostalgia there, and you never know, but it's probably not happening. Next, we have The Bad Guys 2, a DreamWorks sequel. Because it's a sequel to a DreamWorks film, I'll go back of maybe. Because maybe, who knows? This could be the next Kung Fu Panda, the next How to Train Your Dragon, the next Madagascar. Those movies were really profitable, but they're not sniffing $1 billion. So I'm going maybe. It just depends, but probably not. And then we've got Freakier Friday or Freaky Friday 2. I just don't see this movie doing numbers. I mean, yeah, there's going to be nostalgia there. There's going to be, you know, people who grew up watching the first that want to see a sequel, but I'm going no shot with Freakier Friday. I'll put it like right here. Actually at the top of no shot, because it's got more of an appeal than these, I think, but even then, it's not happening. And then to round out this list, we've got Nobody 2. I'll go unlikely for Nobody 2 at the back of unlikely. You've basically got a John Wick ripoff with an older lead played by Bob Odenkirk. He is a lovable guy and he's charismatic, but those movies are, again, not designed to make $1 billion, unlike some of these big blockbusters higher up on the tier list. But yeah, that does it for my ranking of the summer 2025 movies based on if they will make $1 billion or not. My money's on Jurassic to win the summer and maybe the year. Just kidding, we got Avatar. But I'll talk more about billion-dollar movies maybe in the fall, do a preview then. But I just enjoy talking about what could join the $1 billion club. It's a fun topic of conversation. So let me know in the comments down below what summer 2025 movies you think could join the $1 billion club, and of course hit that like button. Subscribe and hit that notification bell and be on the lookout for more videos coming very soon. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.